The crossover, the cameo, when multiple franchises do a fusion dance for the fans. In the right hands, the franchises crossing over can become something more than the sum of their parts, culminating in a symphony of absolute beauty. And in the wrong hands, you get Fortnite. From Rick Sanchez and Superman dancing at a historical virtual monument for Martin Luther King Jr. to Naruto doing a shoot a bitch no jutsu. God, this shit so fucking hurts. Who thought this was okay? Alright. I'll stop complaining about Fortnite for now. As I said before, crossovers have the potential to be a celebration of all franchises involved, or a soulless flex of a corporation's IP. What better example of a corporation that exhibits both these traits than Warner Bros? The multiple attempts they've had with crossovers at this point shows that they are definitely willing to put the effort into them. I'm here to review one of their greatest hits, the Lego Batman movie, and one of their greatest misses, Space Jam: A New Legacy, to show what makes a good crossover and what makes a soulless cash grab. So what makes a good crossover? Did the franchises involved take advantage of each of the franchise's strengths? For example, Marvel vs. Capcom. A lot of Marvel superheroes fight, and a lot of Capcom characters are fighting game characters. It's awesome and hilarious to see Deadpool and Dante going at it. Another example is the Timmy Jimmy Power Hour, the crossover between Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. While not the best crossover in the world, there was enormous potential for this idea. A lot of plot lines in both shows are super fantastical, so them running into each other doesn't sound so far-fetched. And there was a good chance if that you were into one show, you'd like the other because they aired on the same network and they have a lot of similarities. A bad example of crossovers is Rick and Morty with a lot of things. Rainbow Six Siege has some odd skins. They've made a lot of ads like the Alien one and the Pringles one. At first it was cool, but now it's just kinda weird. We're not talking about that again. I will give them the Simpsons couch gag though, that was actually cool. Wait, what? What do you mean they made an official D&D comic crossover? I mean, yeah, maybe I'd buy that Rick played D&D when he was young, but being super into it now is just kinda weird. He could dimension hop and do the real damn thing for shits and giggles. Why the f would he be interested in roleplay? Feels out of character. Tangent aside, the point I'm trying to make is that does all this crossing over leave an impact? All of these Rick and Morty crossovers, in my opinion, do not. Before we start comparing the Lego Batman movie and A New Legacy as crossovers, let's talk about them as normal movies. The Lego Batman movie is about, well, Batman. After fighting the villains of Gotham for so long alone, the loneliness is finally getting to him no matter how comically he tries to hide it under an edgy cool guy persona. During the first half of the movie, because of all these goddamn jokes, I was gone. Had to rewind once or twice while watching because this is too damn funny. However, Lego Batman isn't perfect, and my issues start with the film once the second act rolls around. Oh yeah, spoiler warning for these two movies. Probably should have said that sooner. Like all of the other Warner Bros. Lego movies, there is an overarching moral message. Don't be afraid to have people close to you. The problem with it is that this message is so ham-fisted that every time they try to set up this moral message, it brings the pacing of the movie to a screeching halt. During the approach to Wayne Manor taken over by Joker, fighting is happening all over the place. Is going down. But they had to stop the damn action so they could talk about the theme. Even after they approach as they reach the outside of Wayne Manor, they stop to talk about their teamwork. Like, it's cool and all that y'all are getting along, but I feel like there are some other things that need to be addressed, like a supervillain with a military-grade arsenal. Or if you absolutely have to keep this in, at the very least make it seem a little more organic. And now for Space Jam. Space Jam: A New Legacy is about LeBron James, legendary basketball player, and his kid getting kidnapped by Warner Bros. Own malicious computer AI thingy, Algorithm. How punny. Everyone that has reviewed this movie has made every joke under their sun about that name. Not even gonna try. What's the wife's name? Programmeth? You know, like program, but
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, AI Dude will only let them go if they win a game of sports with the help of the Looney Tunes. No, it's not basketball. I don't know what it is, but it sure as hell ain't basketball. The movie, for some godforsaken reason, is 2 hours long. It's padded out by seeing what each Looney Tune is doing in some other franchise, most of which isn't relevant to the plot at all, and the actual sports game. It's all just noise. It's very colorful, competently well animated noise, but noise nonetheless. Not much actually happens. Also, nitpick probably coming. I know why it's called Space Jam, but couldn't they have at least tried to make the movie remotely related to space? The first Space Jam, it was named that back then because the antagonists were aliens from outer space. Like, the best reason I could think of for a new legacy was that Don Cheadle threatened to yeet LeBron's ass into space or something. And how do these two movies do in the crossover department? Well, look no further than our main protagonists, Batman and LeBron James. Out of context, that sentence sounds like I'm trying to talk about a singular movie with Batman and LeBron James in it. That's so stupid. Wait a minute. Lego Batman has many crossover franchises in it, but the main two franchises are in the title, Lego and Batman.
Oh, I get it.
So how do these two franchises affect each other? Let's get the obvious out of the way first. The aesthetic. Lego has done many crossovers over the years, but the one thing that stays consistent between all of them is that family-friendly Lego brick aesthetic. Batman, despite what happens in all of his various stories, he is, on a surface level, dark and brooding. Not the most family-friendly thing. So to fix that and to closely match the tone of this brick world, they married together his modern-day dark self with his Adam West goofy self to create this happy medium. He is now an edgelord to an almost comical degree, almost becoming a man-child.
No.
You might meet some new people.
No.
There are smaller things that they change in order to bring it closer to that Lego movie feel. For example, instead of Batman summoning things from the Batcave for his missions, he builds his vehicles out of the environment around him. I think they blended Batman perfectly with the style and the tone of the Lego brand. Now, how does LeBron James do with the Looney Tunes? Looney Tunes isn't malleable like the Lego brand is. Every time they try to do something different with the Looney Tunes, it's always met with mixed reception at best. LeBron James, on the other hand, is just a guy. He's not known for his personality, but his skills and talent as a basketball player. What makes you think he can act? Whether or not he's actually trying or not is a different story.
He's not.
But I don't know, the jury's still out on that one. Anyway, if he can't act, why the hell would people think he had any chemistry with goddamn cartoon characters? LeBron's lack of charisma shows the most when he is talking to the sharp-witted Bugs Bunny. LeBron is super awkward on screen and on the mic. No amount of animation of his 2D self is gonna help his vocal performance. Both of these films had other franchises show up besides the ones on the title poster. Warner Bros. Love to flex how much they own. How does each of these movies handle them? In Lego Batman, the cameos are from when the Joker is sent into the Phantom Zone, where he meets lots of famous villains from other movie franchises. The villains join him and actually do shit with him. Like, this is exactly what a cartoon version of these guys would be like. For example, Voldemort is actually doing magic-y type shit and not generic wizard shit either. The Eye of Sauron is being all seeing and shit. King Kong being King Kong. I don't know what these robots are. I'm not a nerd. The point I'm trying to make here is that they feel like the characters they are supposed to be. You might say, shouldn't that be obvious? Why do you need to mention that? Apparently I do. Because Space Jam is a massive you to all these minor cameos that ended up just being complete trailer bait. Why the are these people here? There's also the montage of seeing the Looney Tune characters in other movies. Like, I will admit that is cool, but that's like little YouTube animation cool, not major motion picture cool. If I wanted to see that kind of thing, I would have just stayed on my computer. The only not good but okay cameo is... Oh my god, it's you f***ers again. Why is it every time a crossover is mentioned, it always involves you two?
Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
Okay, I do believe that Rick and Morty would be up to something stupid like experimenting on the Tasmanian Devil, but I also refuse to believe that Rick and Morty don't know who the Tasmanian Devil is, and only gets the pass because all the other cameos are shit. The crossover is the ultimate opportunity to do something cool as shit. and Space Jam just slapped characters onto the screen. If I wanted that, I'd Photoshop it myself. Sure, seeing Superman in a Looney Tunes movie is alright, but what if LeBron James learned something from the Justice League? What if the first half of Space Jam: A New Legacy was just LeBron learning how to do all this fantastical shit from various Warner Brothers properties with Bugs Bunny as his guide? His final mentors could be the Looney Tunes themselves. It would mimic the original Space Jam where Michael Jordan learned how to be loony, but it expands on this idea to be something way more. Wouldn't that be way cooler? It might not help LeBron's acting skill, but would make him more fun to look at on screen. Missed fucking opportunity. The most recent Warner Bros. Crossover in the works is that Smash clone, Multiverses. It looks fun. If they're willing to put Arya Stark in this that means everything Warner Bros. Is on the table. Nothing is sacred. I want Austin Powers up in this Make him like someone who gets more powerful with mojo and make his signature judo chop be like a finisher like Jigglypuff Rest or Nigel Smashing. You know that would be amazing.